Hello, everybody. Welcome. I can't believe I'm actually here relatively on time tonight. And we are doing an unboxing tonight. Oh my God. I am such a tarot magpie that this is really hard for me to not unwrap before May. Look, it's sealed. It's still sealed. I did not unwrap it. So tonight is a true unboxing of May's Tarot Deck of the Month for Card of the Day polls, the Tarot Disassembled by Jennifer Cooper Steadley. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. So we have this, and we have the beautiful guidebook that goes along with it. Thank you to my friends at Red Wheel Weiser for sending me a review copy. I'm so excited about this, guys, but that is tonight's topic for the live stream, and I will be right back in about 20 seconds. I'm also this is going to be like a quasi mukbang too, because I have the rest of my chicken sandwich, so I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day, so that's neither here nor there, but I will be right back in 20 seconds. So welcome everybody to Tarot by Hilary Live. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. So like I was saying before our splash video of introduction, we are unboxing the Tarot Disassembled tonight. We will go through the 22 major arcana cards and then shuffle them up. And we will also do the three main pillars of the live stream, which is starting off with the astro-weather from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest. Mid-episode, we have the mid-episode reading where one lucky viewer can win an opportunity for a 3-card free tarot reading from yours truly live on the broadcast. And then we will finish off with the weekend forecast, in which I pull a tarot or an oracle card to get you through the weekend, or for you to enter the weekend prepared and not scared. So if that sounds good to everyone, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, give me a hell yeah. Let me know that you're enjoying this, and we'll start off with the astro-weather. But first, let me just double check that we are broadcasting correctly to the correct places. The Tube of You, the Book of Face. Let me take a look-sees. Everything looks okay to me, but live now, that's correct. Let me check on the Book of Face. Yep. Looks good on the Tube of You. Just checking the Book of Face. That looks good too. Yes. So we are unboxing the Tarot Disassembled, May's Deck of the Month. Okay. Yep, we're good. We're looking good. So if you all can bear with me as I do the Astro Biz Digest while stuffing my face. I don't know how I'm going to talk and eat at the same time, but I will do my best. I'm half ate my sandwich, and then I looked at the time, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like it's time, and we're pre-recording, not pre-recorded, but we're, I pre-scheduled. I scheduled the live, so I need to start it up at the right time. Otherwise, it goes to high hell. So Fran is here. Hello to you, Fran. Dina is here. Hello to Dina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So nice to see you. So yeah, we are Tarot Disassembled tonight. Woohoo! All right. But first, of course, the astrology from Therese Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest. $99 for a year-long subscription. Astrology in layman's terms, straight to your email inbox. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners like myself, but I have found that it's very helpful in planning my personal life as well. So if you are liking what you're hearing, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the main transits, I do encourage you to get a copy of the Astro Biz Digest for yourself. Again, year-long subscription is $99. And you can go ahead and purchase that at the Tarot Ladies website, thetarotlady.com/Astro Biz Digest. All right. So, astrology. Let's pull that up. Let's open that tabby tab. And as that loads, it's going to load probably more quickly than I can stuff my face. So anyway, here's hoping that, because I want to take a bite, my chicken sandwich. All right. Cool. And I just saw, like, I have a lot of, like, you guys have been keeping me really, really busy with email readings. Like, I have 5 email readings to do. 3 for one person, 1 for another person, and another for another person. So 5 email readings in total. And then I just saw that someone booked for a half an hour session, I think, on Sunday morning. So like, you guys have been keeping me busy, and I love it. I thoroughly enjoy it. Like, please keep me busy. And if you're wondering, like, what can I do to help out this small business tarot reader? You can always book a session with me at tarotbyhilary.com. That is the only place to book a session with me and accept no substitutes. Because, you know, there are imposters out there, and I still don't understand how that's happening. One of the other readers that I follow, Madam Adam, he keeps on getting, I think he was saying something about he keeps on getting messages from people that are angry at him for getting scammed. And it's just like, I didn't, like, I'm sorry that someone's impersonating me, you know, and you ended up scammed by them. But it's just like, I understand his frustration, because, you know, like, how dare people scam in our names? And the most we can do is educate people to be savvy and to not fall for it. And it's just like, and to make sure, like, hey, if you're sending money, like, make sure the email address matches, or purchase, like, the only way to purchase a reading from me or to book a session with me is through my website, tarotbyhilary.com. That's the only place. And if you have somebody reaching out in your DMs at saying, like, Grand Rising, beloved, I feel called to give you a reading, now give me money, that's not me, guys. So, like, before you part with your hard-earned money, like, make sure that you are purchasing through reputable means and the person's actual website. Because most of the time we're very busy, and we're not going to solicit business by dropping into people's DMs. We're just not. It's just like, you have to make the effort to book a session with us. That's not to say that we don't market ourselves, but like, that a reputable reader will not market themselves by dropping into your DMs and saying, I've been attracted to you for a reading. Okay. So just to let you guys know that there's still that stuff going around, but thank you for keeping me busy. And that's the only way to book a reading with me. All right, so astrology. Let's see. All right, April 28th to May 4th. Two major happenings this week. Venus re-enters Aries on the 30th, so that happened 2 days ago. During this transit, you can amp up your PR, engage in assertive marketing practices, and cold call potential clients. I don't like cold calling, but it Venus in Aries is being bold, basically. In other words, get your hustle on. Use this period to revamp boundaries if clients are too pushy. While there's nothing wrong with folks being in your inbox, this doesn't mean that they get to push you around. Very good advice, even if Venus is not in Aries. Venus will be in chill Taurus on June 6th. So we've got Venus in Aries from April 30th to June 6th. So we are in that energy all May long. Yes, Fran, exactly. Hi, my name is Brad Pitt. Yes, the real Brad Pitt. This is my super secret account. Yeah, they'll pull that stuff too with celebrities, like not celebrity tarot readers like myself, but they'll pull that with celebrities as well. It's just like, no. I've broken up with my with my model wife or girlfriend, but I feel very attracted to you, and this is the real me. And it's just like, if someone has to say this is the real, like it's kind of sketch, right? It's a little sketch. So, other than Venus re-entering Aries, we also have Pluto stationing blah, 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 retrograde on the 5th. So we're not there yet, in another 3 days. Fear not, this yearly astro event doesn't create drastic effects like Mercury retrograde. Instead, it's your opportunity to reflect on your work, particularly around the theme of power. In Aquarius, you might want to review how you're holding space for the collective. Are you a beacon of inspiration, or do you ignore the current climate? Is there a way you can build a bridge to create an equitable, just world? What is your role as a leader in your community? What is your relationship like with your team or technology? Ponder these questions, and if you don't like the answers, look for solutions. And Pluto stations direct on October 13th. So, guys, Pluto is retrograde from May 5th to October 13th. So that is months long. Usually with the outer planets, you're going to have a longer retrograde period. You're going to, it's going to be a matter of months rather than weeks. So we are pondering those questions around themes of power and your work, especially in Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius, retrograde. How are you holding space for the collective? Are you inspiration? How do you see your role as a leader in your community? Technology with coworkers. These are all questions to ponder over the next few months up until October 13th. I mean, it's still a good idea to ponder all of those things outside of a Pluto retrograde, but in particular, those themes are going to be coming up for us. Yeah, Dina says, I watched a Keanu Reeves documentary, then got a fake telegram from him. Scary how knowledgeable these scammers are. Yeah, because they're using our habits and our patterns and our search choices and what we're viewing, and they're getting smarter. And I mean, I've had a couple of people that have gotten taken in by scams, in particular the whole oh, I thought it was you. And after you part with your money, there's not much you can really do about it. So that's the reason why it's just be very careful and make sure you're purchasing from legitimate websites or legitimate service providers. And if you do ever get a message from me or someone claiming to be me, you can always reach out to me or send me an email, Hilary@tarotbyhilary.com, and verify hey, was this you? But there are signs. There are signs to know if it's me. I'm never going to say Grand Rising Beloved unless it's in jest. And usually, if I don't know someone, I'm not going to I'm not going to be funny with them in that way, because it's just like, it's a red flag. If you ever seen that guy that's on the internet that takes out the flags, and he's got like green flags for certain behavior, red flags for other behavior. Sometimes he'll run through a field with the red flag or the green flag or the yellow flag. So it's just like, that's a red flag. But there are other people that are like down on themselves for being taken in. And I'm just like, don't get down on yourself. Like, they're, if they used an iota of their intelligence to do something worthwhile and reputable and quality, like, that would be something different, but they're not. They're using their intelligence to scam or deceive, and it's just like, that says way more about them than about you. And it's not about you being stupid. It's they're getting smarter. So just be careful out there, right? Anyway, so those are the big two transits for this week. Venus re-entering Aries on the 30th and Pluto stationing retrograde on the 5th. All right, so let's get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sorry, guys. I'm going to take a little bitey bite of my sandwich. It's been an interesting day so far, and I haven't even looked at the astrology this week. I've been so busy. But it's been weird. The vibes have been really off today. So, and hence why I'm just eating now. This is my first meal of the day. Coffee doesn't count, Hilary. Is it the healthiest of options? No. It's KFC, but there's apparently a whole subsection of video people, and it's called mukbang, and they're talking about something while they're eating. I don't know. I don't know how they do it, because I just talk. Can't get a word in edgewise. And then I have to eat, then I can't talk while I'm eating. I can't do both at the same time. I don't get it. Anyway, so Friday. Today, Friday, May 2nd. Friday finds the moon in a square with Mercury at 9:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Conversations could turn ugly now, so save the important discussions for a few hours later. Venus conjunct Neptune at 1:07 p.m. provides the perfect magical vibe to enchant the public. Cast a spell with dreamy PR campaigns all weekend long. It will pay off. This is also ideal for secret business activities. If you have a project that needs to be kept under wraps, you're in the right astrological groove. Shut down the office when the moon squares Chiron at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The public is triggered by the news and won't have the bandwidth to pay attention. Today, Friday, May 2nd, is a power day for Cancer and a weak day for Capricorn. No wonder I've been feeling it. Capricorn ascendant. I'm like, what is going on? People are in their fifis today, and they're also acting really weird and not in the good way. Fran says, oh, see, I was going to ask if it was from a deli. No, it's KFC, guys. It's a weakness. And then I was driving home and I called my husband. I'm just like, on my way home. What are we doing for dinner? Because I have the unboxing tonight. And he's just like, do you want KFC? And I'm just like, yeah. Katie is here also. Hello, Katie. Hello, happy eating. We can't have a starving psychic. No, you cannot. I get grumpy real quickly. And also, when you're doing this kind of work, when you're doing energetic work, when you're giving readings to people, even when you're doing tappings or, facilitating a tapping session, afterwards, you might feel a little like spacey Casey, space cadet. Gotta eat. Eating and drinking are grounding practices for your spiritual practice. Like, you have to have something to ground. Otherwise, you're just going to be like flying all over the place in your mind. And it's just like, you have to acknowledge that you do have a body you need to take care of for your spirit. So on that note, I'm going to stuff my face a little bit more. Let's do Saturday first. Saturday finds the moon zipping into Leo at 7:29 a.m., which means the weekend is for presentations, entertainment, creativity, and all things PR. The two best spots for capturing the public's attention are the Moon-Neptune trine at 9:37 a.m. and the Moon-Venus trine at 10:33 a.m. Be sure to amp up your PR then. It could lead to increased sales. Watch out for power struggles when the moon opposes Pluto at 2:25 p.m. An egomaniac could derail an event if you do not set boundaries. Boundary bitch, boundary bitch. The Moon-Mars conjunction at 8:13 p.m. is your cue to hit the stage, host a live stream, or pump up your marketing. All in all, Saturday ends on a terrific note. That's always good to know. I like to hear it. All right, I'm going to eat the rest of my sandwich, and then we'll talk about Sunday. And then I will clean off my hands so that we can open up the Tarot Disassembled. I'm very excited about this. I don't know how, guys, I was sitting on my hands when this came in. I'm so glad that this package actually came, that it wasn't stolen. I'm really, really happy about it. Ooh, Fran, we had breakfast for dinner, waffles and bacon. I love breakfast for dinner. That's such a good time. Oh, now I kind of want waffles, even though this sandwich is fantastic right now. And I left my fries in the other room. However, I do have one gripe. It is absolutely covered in mayo. The mayo ratio on this is out of control. Too much mayo, not enough pickles. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. A peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss. My stomach is actually still rumbling because it's just like, we're hungry. And it's just like, I'm feeding you right now. Brent says I don't like heavy mayo either. I mean, I'm all right with it as long as the ratios are correct. Right now, the ratios are not correct. Isn't it? Isn't it a lagoon? That is so not the word. Autocorrect. Thank you all for bearing with me. Well, I have left my lip gloss in the other room too. Left my lip gloss in the other room. And also my fries. So I'm a little bit sad about that. It's all good though. I have my water. I have my gingy. Okay. Whew. All right. So for Sunday, what do we got for Sunday? So Sunday begins with the moon locked in a square with the sun at 9:52 a.m., creating a stubborn, egocentric mood. Not great for marketing or meetings. Well, wonderful, because someone just booked a reading with me on Sunday morning. Pluto stations retrograde at 11:27 a.m. Be sure to check out the info. We already did that. At 11:14 p.m., the moon trines Mercury, your best time for intense conversations, fun presentations, or last-minute sales newsletter. Yay! Both days, Saturday and Sunday, are power days for Leo and weekdays for Aquarius. So, at this time, I will open up the floor to people if they were having a weird day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I will take, and they want to know an astrological reason why. I will take a peek see at the Astro Biz Digest and let you know. And then if we don't, I'll give it a minute or so. And if we don't, we will move on to what I think a lot of people really like out of the live stream. Now, there's certainly other aspects of the live stream that people like, especially when I'm teaching different metaphysical topics. Like a couple of weeks ago, last week we didn't have a show. Thank you for allowing me some time off. But the week before, so about 2 weeks ago, we did an episode on scent and perfume magic. And so the entire surface of my broadcasting space was covered in different perfume bottles, oils, essential oils, all different sorts of things to be able to teach that class. And I love teaching. Like if I know something about something, I'm going to teach it, and I'll probably keep on going and going. I think that episode was around 2 hours in length. So, it was a little bit of a banger, but I had so many different scents or perfumes or advice on using scent or perfume or essential oils to boost your magical intentions and your manifestation work. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, it is in the workshops playlist on the Tube of You channel. So you can check out that playlist. The replay is available, and there are replays available for the last, oh gosh, is it going to be 6 years in August that I've been doing the live stream? So we have replays available for all of the past episodes. So you may want to check that out. I, for example, was wearing my Vanilla Skin by Floor today. So that's kind of become my go-to scent. So if you're doing manifestation work and you want to write something, like write an intention on a piece of paper, draw some sigils, spray some perfume so that you're basically holding up your hand and saying, hey, this is my manifestation. Come to me, please. Come to me. So that's a great example of using scent or perfume to help your manifestations. Homework from 2 weeks ago was finding your signature scent. So I'm wondering if people did the homework. It's optional, as always. You don't have to do it. But I'm wondering if people did the homework, since I'm not seeing any comments on Monday was weird. Why? I'm actually going to take a peek at Wednesday, because Wednesday was a little bit weird for me. Okay. Chiron, 5:31 p.m. on Wednesday, moon sextiles Chiron, sensitive conversations. It was also kind of like the walking wounded was out on Wednesday night. It was kind of weird. So, there we go. Very late Tuesday, Wednesday morning early. Thursday morning early. Okay. Late Tuesday. Power day for Gemini, weekday for Sagittarius. Excellent for power meetings. Moon entered Gemini, writing, meeting, learning, communication. I don't see anything Tuesday night. Let's see, Wednesday morning, Moon Jupiter conjunction, 12:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Public in a great mood. Venus sprinting into Aries, 1:16 p.m. We already talked about that. So if there was anything going on around revamping boundaries, if people are too pushy, that was what was going on. Does that make sense? Yeah. Weak Sagittarius, that makes it. It's my ascendant. And then also Venus. Venus re-entering Aries. Hustle, assertive marketing practices, but also no one gets to push you around. Having to put up boundaries, assert boundaries. That's kind of what was going on there. So hopefully that sheds some cosmic light on the subject. Yeah. Yep. That's it then. There was revamping boundaries and unpleasant communication. So a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B with the weak Sagittarius, and then the Venus re-entering Aries. All right. Anybody else? All right. Should we? Let's go. Let's open up this bitch. So we have the Tarot Disassembled by Jennifer Cooper Steadley. Brighter color palette and bold graphics. So Katie says, yeah, thank you. Yes. Okay, cool. So I did get the press release from Red Wheel Weiser. So, this is the perk of the job. Even though Mr. Tarot by Hilary asked me a very interesting question. Yeah, friends like, oh yeah, big boundaries. Yep. So Mr. Tarot by Hilary asked me a very interesting question earlier today. And he was just like, what are you doing your live stream on? Like he knew it was an unboxing, but he was just like, oh, the unboxing for the deck that you got from the publisher. And I'm like, yeah. And he was just like, can I ask you a question about that? I'm like, okay. Oh gosh. I bet there's a story there, Fran. Had to return someone's gift. Okay. So he asked me about review copies, basically, and he was just like, can I ask you, so have you ever gotten something that you're just like, oh, it's a reviewer copy, so you have to say nice things? And I'm just like, well, I'm sure some people are like that, but I want to make it very clear that just because you're sending me a reviewer copy of this doesn't mean it necessarily guarantees you a good review. Like so far, I've had pretty good luck with it, but I'm not gonna lie and say like, oh, this has great cardstock when it's flimsy cardstock, or oh, the graphics are this, or like, oh, the companion book doesn't really match up to the artwork that's on the cards. Like, I'm triple Aries, man, like sun sign Aries, Venus in Aries, Mars in Aries, like, and my moon is in Gemini. Like, I am going to be cruel to be kind. I am going to be truthful. I try and be tactful. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just like, I am giving, like, I always say, complete transparency. I got a review copy of this. I got this for free as an advanced reader copy or a reviewer copy. And like beyond that, like that's where I feel my ethics. It's just like, I did receive this as a reviewer copy. That being said, let's take it apart, or let's praise it. But it's just like, but I'm not gonna lie and say that I like it when I don't. So and I think that's what you guys have come to expect from me anyway. Like, I can't be someone I'm not. I can't say what I'm not seeing. So Katie says, literally physical boundaries, LOL, house boundaries, disrespectful, illegal behavior. Fun! Yay! Hate people. So Katie says, you are going to give a legit review as part of your brand. My brand is ethics and integrity. Yeah. It impacts your brand if you lie or misrepresent. Like, I wish more people would understand that. Like, it's just like, oh, like, it's just like, oh, under shady dealings and underhanded practices. Like, not here. Like, I'm also a witch. So I have the ethics of like, especially if you're doing bindings or hexes, which I think a hex that cannot heal, a hex that cannot, a hex, a witch that cannot hex cannot heal. Like that's kind of a part of like how I was taught witchcraft. It's just like we have to have both. We have to have the ability to do both. We can heal, but we can also hex. Like it's we must be able to do both in order to do either one effectively. However, I do ascribe to the belief that if you're binding or hexing, you have to keep your closets clear. You have to keep your nose clean when you're doing that kind of work, because if you're trying to do something to somebody else, like it's also going to affect you too. And also I tend to not do that kind of work because then it binds you to somebody else. It binds you to their energy for good or for ill. So it's just like you have to think about it very carefully before you decide to do that kind of work. Do I still think it's valuable to do it in certain situations? Absolutely. But so where was I? Like you have to keep yourself energetically clean in order to be able to do that work. Same thing with reviewing, like I got to keep it real. So, oh, thank you, Katie. You're very legit. That's why we like you. Aw, so sweet. No. Yes, please feed the Aries ego. I don't need the ego. I don't need to be fluffed up. It's already big enough as is. All right. So we have the press release here. Tarot Disassembled, 78 full color cards from Red Wheel Weiser, created by Jennifer Cooper Stadley. The true tarot is symbolism. It speaks no other language and offers no other signs, which is a quote from A.E. Waite, Arthur Edward Waite, who was the original creator of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Obviously, he commissioned it. Pixie, Pamela Coleman Smith, was the one that did the art. The Rider that comes out of Rider-Waite-Smith is the publisher. The original publisher was Rider, I think, was the publisher. So Tarot Disassembled is a full 78 card tarot deck that deconstructs and re-examines the traditional symbolism found in the classic Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. Using a bright color palette and simple, bold graphics, each card reveals a pattern created from a fresh arrangement of the traditional symbols. Yeah, Katie says hexes are so tempting, but yeah, you don't really want to be linked to that person most times. I mean, it's the same reason why I don't do love spells anymore, because I have lots of anecdotal proof that magic works, and that's a problem. Especially when if you're a young witch and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you don't know what love is, and you ask the universe to bring your true love to you, like it'll do it. It'll take some time and it'll do it, but you got to be careful of your vehicle, your intention, and your energy, because all of those things are going to come into the spell work, and it's going to create the results of your manifestation or your intention. You'll know when magic brings something into your life, because there will be signs. But then, when you're no longer with that person that you magicked into your life, like what then? I have way too many examples of this, and many of my friends who are also witches have way too many examples of this. So you also have to do the work of breaking the spell, or allowing the spell to run its course, or creating a cord cutting ceremony to allow for the natural dissolution of that bind. So Katie says, I prefer to do a protection spell around myself than hex to the other person. Right, exactly. I mean, it's not that I'm fearful about doing spell work. It's just I'm very careful when I do cast a spell. I want to make sure that my intention is good, and I'm directing my energy in what I feel to be the correct place. Protection spell for yourself instead of projecting out to another person. Yeah. I get it. Oh, did Fran says my friend got a cat. Was that as a result of the spell? Yeah, you've got to be clear too. Famous story amongst our coven is my best friend cast a spell for a partner, but she wasn't specific about romance, and she got me. So then she I mean, it worked out. Like we're besties to this day, but it's just yeah, there's no romance or sexuality in that relationship. It's just we're hetero life mates, like Jay and Silent Bob. So, but it's a good example of being careful what you wish for, right? Yeah. So Fran says yes, my friend got a cat through magical means. So, one of the most unique tenets of this deck is the almost complete absence of human representation. This allows the user of the deck to connect with the symbols in a completely intuitive way, free from any pictorial narrative around gender, skin color, age, size, ability, or any other human constructs. There are only 4 exceptions to this rule in this deck: the Hanged One, the Tower, Judgment, and the World. In each of these cards, the positioning of the human figure is so inherent to the meaning of the card that a simple wooden mannequin style symbol was used. Good to know. Tarot Disassembled can be used and enjoyed by seasoned tarot readers and complete novices alike. The simplicity of the symbols makes it a great first deck for a newbie, while the complexity of the visual information makes it a great deep dive for a pro. Digging into the research for Tarot Disassembled has been like going on a walk in the forest and discovering that every tiny rock and leaf holds hidden treasure underneath. The reverence and fascination of the tarot has only been compounded by discovering the layers upon layers of meaning each individual symbol holds. So that's the press release for the tarot deck itself. And then we also do have the guidebook. This guide uses the traditional symbolism found in the tarot and shares it as bold graphics to allow readers to connect to the cards in a completely intuitive way. Sometimes we need to take apart a sandwich to appreciate what's in it. And the same is true for the ingredients, the individual symbols that make up the complex picture of a tarot card. There is potential for deep understanding that comes with the act of disassembling, and the Tarot Disassembled guidebook deconstructs each of the 78 cards to look at the individual symbols. Fully illustrated guide presents a picture of each card, but reduced down to the bare minimum. So the Fool card is a satchel, a dog, the sun, a feather, a flower, a mountain. Even without the actual Fool, these symbols speak for themselves, and the card is still undeniably recognizable as the Fool. Once you do this with all the cards, the rich symbolism becomes clear. The sun and mountains appear over and over in many other cards, as do feathers, clouds, flowers, and so on. For people looking to find deeper card connections in their readings, this book is for you. Although this book is based on the symbology of the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, arguably the most iconic and widely used deck in the world, once you understand the disassembling of tarot symbols, you can begin to apply this deconstructing technique to other decks, finding the inner patterns. This method allows you to connect with any traditional deck in a completely intuitive way, free from any pictorial narrative around gender, skin color, human constructs, etc. Unique and innovative guidebook includes keywords, astrological and planetary associations, and elemental associations for each tarot card. It can be used with any deck based on the Rider-Waite system or as a companion to the Tarot Disassembled deck sold separately. So That is good to know, guys. This doesn't come as a complete set, I believe. I think they come separately. So you're not getting, let me see here. I don't think you're getting a guidebook within the deck itself. I think this is the separate guidebook. So, like, I think it is sold separately, 1 and 2, or 1 and 2. So, just to let you guys know that, because it says right here, sold separately. Okay. So Katie says, sounds like the symbolism would be good for encouraging the intuition to speak. Yes. It actually reminds me a little bit about the Simple Tarot deck, which was made by, oh gosh, I think her last name is Green, but I did review the Simple Tarot deck. I don't think we ever did an unboxing here on the live stream. We can certainly do that, but there is 2 versions of the Simple Tarot. There's one without keywords directly onto the cards, and with keywords directly onto the cards. So that's kind of like when I see the Tarot Disassembled, like this is what reminds me. The Simple Tarot reminded me of that deck. And I do recommend, where's my book? Do I have it in the other room? I think I might have mentioned in my book, How to Read Tarot, that there are examples of decks that you can use for instruction, or almost like flashcards in a way. And I did recommend the Quick and Easy Tarot deck and the Simple Tarot as examples of that. Obviously, I don't think the Tarot Disassembled was out even as a Kickstarter at the time my book came out. So I didn't know. Maybe that'll be also an excellent resource, or maybe I'll mention it if I ever get asked to make a second edition of How to Read Tarot. So yeah. Yeah. So Fran says, I have one I had to buy separate. I think it was the Goddess Tarot. Yeah. So sometimes, it's not a given. Sometimes the guidebook or like a larger guidebook will come separately to the deck. So I already have one gripe, which is the guidebook and the tarot deck come separately. I hope when I open this up that they are going to have a little pamphlet or something for someone, but I also do understand the point of the deck is Tarot Disassembled, deconstructing. Maybe the fact that they don't have a guidebook is a nod to deconstructing the symbols and allowing your intuition to speak. Possibly. Thank you, Katie. Angie Green. Yes. Angie Green, the Simple Tarot. And I do have, and so Katie provided us a link on Goodreads for the Simple Tarot. I also did do, I think I did an interview with her actually. Let me see. Let's just look. All right. When I type in book corner, on my website, it comes up immediately with 365 tarot spreads by Sasha Graham, which I also reviewed. So let's see. I'm just going to write in the Simple Tarot. That way I can link to my review of it if you guys are interested in that too. Yes. The Simple Tarot, 7 questions with Angie Green. Got it. And I mean, so the Simple Tarot is going to be different, of course, to the Tarot Disassembled. With the Simple Tarot, there are still humanoid figures or silhouettes. With Tarot Disassembled, it seems like the intention was to take the humans out, except for, like I said before, as per the press release, the Hanged One, the Tower, Judgment, and the World needed that human presence in order to keep the interpretation of those cards intact. So, but if you're interested, I did do a review of the Simple Tarot, but it's the first thing that came to mind when I saw the Tarot Disassembled. It's like, oh, that's very similar to. So there's the link. It's in the chat. It's also on screen right now. tarotbyhillary.com/7 questions, the Simple Tarot. All right. So I'm sure you've had enough with my blathering because we're already at minute 50 and we haven't even sliced open the deck. So, by the way, let's go with the guidebook first because that is the open part of this. Forward by Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady. So let's take a look. This edition first published in 2024. Okay, copyright 2025. All you have to go on are the traditional symbols for the card. Nothing is obvious, yet it is. After all, these are archetypal symbols we all recognize, much like simple images in picture books. When you dive in, you start to see the cards like you have never seen them before. By breaking each card down to the basics, you are free to explore new interpretations of universal symbols. For instance, the rich green background in the Queen of Pentacles symbolizes growth and prosperity. The rabbit represents fertility. The crown signifies leadership. The fruits indicate a harvest. From those clues, you can see the meanings unfold, much like the letters in words. But like language, the symbols in the Tarot Disassembled deck come together in surprising ways. For example, the Queen of Pentacles has a goat head in the upper right corner, which can also be seen in the Emperor and the Devil. This shared symbol suggests an interesting connection between the three cards, hinting at a story of power, wealth, and greed. Is the queen here to lead, or is she concerned with her own selfish interests? Is she a gold digger? These connections between cards add depth and complexity to the reading, inviting further exploration and interpretation. Tarot Disassembled. This is in Teresa's words. Tarot Disassembled is a modern and clever update on a classic and sure to inspire your own tarot journey. Yeah, obviously. Yay, Teresa! Love Teresa. Okay. So, welcome to the Tarot Disassembled. In early 2021, I had a light bulb moment while watching my son disassemble his sandwich into its various ingredients so he could analyze them more closely. As I watched him, I pondered the potential for deeper understanding that lies in the act of disassembling. Since my brain is forever obsessed with all things tarot related, I began considering how deconstructing the tarot could enhance our understanding of it. In that moment, the idea for Tarot Disassembled was born. This book is a guide to the cards of Tarot Disassembled, but it also stands alone as a source book for the symbolism in the tarot. The new Weiser Books edition of both the deck and the guidebook contains some significant updates from my earlier self-published edition. The two have been updated to reflect new things that I have learned since the creation of the first edition. Tarot is such an amazing, multi-layered system that I imagine the learning never truly ends. There are 13 new symbols that have been added, as well as numerous changes to small details with big meaning. For example, updating the number of rays on the sun in both the Fool card and the Sun card, as well as introducing purple to the color palette. Each alteration I have made has meaning, and I have tried to reflect that in each card's information. I strongly encourage you to obtain the Tarot Disassembled deck. Even though this guidebook will be illuminating for tarot symbolism generally, you will get much more out of the experience by using it with a deck of the same name. This book has been produced in black and white, and I make many references to color in the cards. There are colors that show up in the Rider-Waite-Smith system of tarot, but you'll find this book most rewarding when used as a one-to-one match with the Tarot Disassembled tarot. Yeah. So while the while the tarot deck is full color, the book is not. It's black and white. I mean, besides the pretty colorful cover, the book is black and white. Okay. Yes, correct. Fran says she doesn't just put her name on anything. That's true. That's very true. Katie said, nice review. So right. Again, brand. Yeah, brand. Exactly. It's important. It's important. So we have so many symbols. It's so rich. Yeah, I'm going to have to look and see. Again, we are working with this deck. Like, this is the unboxing video. Don't get me wrong, but we are going to be working with this deck for Card of the Day polls the entire month of May, starting tomorrow. And so I feel like there is such it's gonna go deep, guys, because it's just like boat, child, cloak, bridge, castle, laurel wreath, horse, angel, coffin, equal armed cross, mountains, path, rocks, water, starburst, sun, wheel, wings. There's so many symbols. And I will say, again, it's just like, shut up, Hilary, and just open the deck. I will say that this deck may lend itself very well to a style of reading or interpretation that I usually talk to my clients about, definitely my students about. If like you're learning how to read tarot from me directly, I will usually say, soften your gaze and then look at the card again. Think about the question that you're asking the deck, and then look at the card again. Open your eyes with soft gaze. Where does your eye fall? What symbol does your eye fall on? Because usually the first symbol that you're noticing on a card is going to help you in interpreting that particular card and its meaning as related to the context of your question and the context of your reading. So for example, if you're getting the Fool card, you're like, oh gosh, I want to start a new business, but I don't know if now's the right time. And you pull the Fool card, like that's usually a good indication of like, of starting something new, right? Taking a risk. But are you looking at the Fool in total? Where does your eye fall when you're looking at that card? That can help you to cater the reading or provide the, I don't want to say right interpretation, but best interpretation for that given situation. Like, does your eye fall on the pack that's on his back? Does it fall on the little dog? If you notice the dog first and the dog is barking, it's just like, is that dog barking encouragement or is he barking a warning? Do you notice the tunic? Do you notice the foot about to take a leap off the cliff? Like, these are all good questions and all good things to evaluate when you're looking at a single tarot card. And I think that style of learning how to read tarot based on the symbols that go along with it might lend itself very well to using this deck. Right. Exactly. Katie says, are you looking at the cliff? So it's going to be a fall. Right. That's an example of how I'll usually encourage people to like learn the cards, and I've said this before many times. I just like, I don't think memorization really works anymore for learning tarot. I mean, it worked for me only because I thought that was how I was going to learn tarot. But I was like, it took me a long time to learn tarot and to have this shorthand of like, Fool, this, and it means this. Three of Swords means Seven of Pentacles means, and now I have the entirety of the 78 cards of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck in my head, so that like if you want to quiz me, you can quiz me. But sometimes different decks lends itself to different interpretations. But like in general, the Five of Swords is not a nice card, and the Sun is a pretty good card, But yeah, right. Katie says, I love that about tarot cards. And like in general, if you learn tarot, the structure of tarot, you can take that learning into most any deck. That's the good part of this kind of divination system. It's a system. Therefore, you can kind of like go across the board, no matter the type of tarot deck. Yes, Thoth can be a little bit difficult for people that are Rider-Waite-Smith trained, and vice versa. But in general, if you know how to read one tarot deck, you know how to read all tarot decks. That's the beauty of having a system, right? It's like the common denominator, So so memorization, it worked for me, but like I don't think it works for everybody, and it can also get very, very frustrating. So in the case of like something like this, it's just like, do you really need to memorize? Do you really need a guidebook? Like we shall see over the next month, right? So let's open her up. Now that I've been yammering on for the last hour, guys, you need to keep me in check. So I am using my Pelican, right? Pelican embroidery scissors. I do have other embroidery scissors, but I grabbed these ones. I have my Morticia Adams one as well. So you're gonna, best part, right? Okay. Okay. We're in. All right, first impressions. Is it a tuck box? I think so. Or a telescoping box, like whatever this is called. But it's nice and snug, guys. Unfortunately, not a magnetic closure. You know how I stand a good magnetic closure, but it is not, sadly, alas. Can't have everything. Oh, excuse me. So we have Tarot Disassembled by Jennifer Cooper Steadley. Tarot Disassembled from Weiser. 78 cards. Let's pull this out. Katie says, I'm sort of thankful that my first experience of reading cards was an acquaintance giving me her cards and getting me to do a reading for her. And me giving her a reading that she said was exactly what she had got from her professional the previous day. Ooh, it was all just getting the feel from the symbolism. Symbols are awesome for intuition. Yes, absolutely. And what a boost to your confidence too. I mean, obviously that's not necessarily what it's about. Like we're trying, like I've said this before too, when ego steps in, the magic steps out. That's true for magic work. That's true for intuition and reading professionally. It's not about your ego. When you make it about your ego, your readings are going to suck. They will suck. Because you will, like, because I vacillate between, I am the greatest reader alive and I suck. There's no real in between. So sometimes I'll have a really good reading with someone. I'm just like, and I'll walk into my living room where my husband is, and I'm just like, I am the best reader ever. And then usually like about 2 days later, I'm just like, I am the worst reader ever. Like, but it's like, there's a humbleness there, but also like, You need to be good at what you do. You need to have confidence at what you do and that you are a good reader. But you also will have readings that you're not your best, or there's not a real connection with the client or the reader. It's just like it's not a good fit, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like you're not a bad person, they're not a bad person. It's just not there's no gel, but when it works, oh, how it works, but it's just like sometimes we do need that pat on the back, even though, there are definitely readers out there that feed their ego from it. And it's just like, it's not really the reason why we do it. No, Katie. Oh yeah, the suck has probably stopped me to be a professional. But we all have it. We all have it. My perfectionist style gets in my way. Like, I'm a recovering perfectionist. It's hard. It's really, really hard. All right. This feels very nice, by the way. It has a nice feel to it. Okay. Let's go. Me thinks there is no guidebook. I don't see no guidebook. So, ooh, okay. All right. So, this earbud has been threatening to fall out on me. All right. So the top of the box has a bunch of symbols. We've got a cup. We've got the infinity. And then it rotates. Like look at that. Look at all the wings, the pentacle, the lemon skate, which is the infinity symbol, cup, mountains, waves, crown, rose, sun, like beautiful, gorgeous, love it, wish you were here. And then the base is the quote from Arthur E. Waite: "The true tarot is symbolism. It speaks no other languages and offers no other signs." Good reminder. All right. So fresh deck. If you'll indulge me, guys. New card smell. You don't understand. Like, I have been sitting on this since the beginning of last month. I waited 3 weeks. How is that possible? All right. So we have a little title card. Oh, by the way, I believe the publication date of this deck was April 7th. So it's out. You guys can purchase it. I would recommend purchasing it either through the publisher directly or through Bookshop if you'd like. Hold on one second. Katie says, old book smell and new card smell. Gimme, yes. Bookshop. See if my linky is still in there. Oh, I'm not signed in. All right. That's going to take too long, but I'm sure Tarot Disassembled is on there, guys. Come on. Yes, so it is not sold together. They're sold separately. So the deck is $24.95. The guidebook is $18.95. Would I recommend getting both? Stay tuned. Stay tuned until June 1st. After I've worked with it for a month, I'll be able to give you a more educated answer. So we have Tarot Disassembled, based on the RWS. For those of you new to tarot, RWS deck was created 1910. Also available and sold separately is the companion in-depth source book. So yeah, they're definitely sold separately. So do you need the guidebook? I don't know check in with me after May, just like after April. It's just like, it's not April anymore, it's May. All right, are we ready for the cards themselves, my dears? Now that you've heard me jawing, we have, so look, yellow edges. Right, exactly. At the end of the, oh, yeah. Time to recommend them that they make a discount pack, LOL. Or at the end of, or the end of the month, or like a bundle, right? We'll see. We'll see. So yellow edged, very, very nice. Cardstock is good. Cardstock is good. Not too flimsy, not too thick. Like Goldilocks, just right. All right, let's do it. We have, oh, and the backs look like this. I like the backs, guys. I like it. I like that you can't tell whether it's upright or reversed, especially for those of us readers that do read with reversals. I like that you can't tell. So we have the Fool. And again, if I'm going too fast, it's all right. It's all right. We're working with this deck all month long. So we have the Fool, the Magician. They are a little stuck together though. The High Priestess. Katie says, nice backs. Yeah, the High Priestess. And also, I'm very familiar with the images on the High Priestess because I have the tattoo of the High Priestess on my arm. And when I was first thinking about getting that card, I was just like, what makes the High Priestess to you? So I asked everyone, I polled everyone. And so I'm actually glad to see one of the symbols to me that makes the High Priestess, which is the pomegranate. Right there, the pomegranate, the crescent moon. I made sure that there was a pomegranate on mine. Now, does that mean every High Priestess ever is going to have a pomegranate in it? No, not necessarily. But to me, I like my High Priestess to have a pomegranate in it. It's also got the black and white pillar, the scroll, the Kabbalistic tree of life, the triple moon. I'm digging. The Empress. Empress also does have a pomegranate on it. I never noticed that. That's going to be the good part of seeing the symbols that thread their way through the tarot. But I suppose the pomegranate is in her dress, in her gown, usually. The the Empress. Okay, we have the Emperor. The Hierophant. Yeah. Katie says, oh, the symbols for me, the first hit makes this a good learner pack to make you see the symbols in other tarot. And for this out of practice tarot reader, a good return. Yeah, absolutely. The Lover's card. I like the Lover's card in this. It's really pretty. And I like where the symbols are placed too. The Chariot. Ooh, I definitely feel that is more than one card there. The Chariot. Strength. In case people were wondering, strength is 8 in this deck. The Hermit. Wow, the Hermit's really pretty too. Love that gray. Yes, Lover's card, less about the people, but more about the warnings around the lovers. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hanged One. I can see why they included the Hanged One. Yeah, which are the three that have the humanoid figures? The Hanged One, the Tower, Judgment, and the World. Technically speaking, though, I did see a cloaked figure in one of the other cards, so it's not necessarily completely devoid. Death. Well, Death, you have armor, and you also have the skull. But there's the White Rose. Yeah, the line down the middle of the hermit, the to and fro, good and bad of being a hermit, right? The seclusion, but also the loneliness. Temperance. Ooh, that's pretty. The Devil. Tower. Star. The Moon. The Sun. Yeah, the Chain of the Devil. Judgment. And the World. So, are there particular cards you guys want to see? I'm going to start shuffling up the major arcana separately. Are there particular cards that you guys want to see? I know that some of you like to see the queens. While these cards are still sorted before I start shuffling them up. So yeah, the River for Judgment, very Hades. But by the way, I'm not sure if I was able to tell you guys this particular story, but Mr. Tarot by Hilary has been getting called out by his oracle cards. He's been working with the the Marvel Oracle, the Magic of Marvel Oracle deck. And he was just like, oh my God, this card has come up for me every single day this week, and it's still true every single day. And I'm just like, and he was like, is this what it's like to be you? And I'm like, so Katie says, I'd be curious about the queens as usual. Okay. So we have the Two of Cups is pretty. Got distracted, guys. There's the King of Wands. So let's see. We have the Queen of Wands. So let's do all the queens first. So there's the Queen of Wands. Here's, oh, wow, that's a pretty Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords. And finally, Queen of Pentacles. And then Katie was saying, I'm almost interested in the Five of Cups, where we usually see some of the ups and downs of the cup. Five of Cups. Good question. Good thinking, Lincoln. Some of the background colors are very interesting too. So the Five of Cups is... So you've actually got the spillage. You've got an arrow. You've got 2 cups spilled with 2 cups being spilled with red liquid, 1 cup being spilled with green liquid. You've got the bridge in the background too. Window, castle, tree, cloak. So it's just like it. Yeah, there's butterflies in the Queen of Swords. Yep. Yes. So Mr. Tarot, LOL, getting smacked around by the cards. Finally, he knows. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he sure does. Yeah, fascinating 5 of Cups. Yep. Ooh, 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords is nice too. So it's just like you can't necessarily take the humans out of this. Like, I think the animal cards do it better, like the Wild Messengers alchemical tarot deck, the Wild Messengers alchemical tarot, where it has the different animals and the associations. I think that's the only way to really take it, is like to be completely nature based. Because you don't have the humans, or you have like humanoid, you also do have cloaks and armor and skulls. So it's just like, so it is human, without necessarily being human. Ooh. Do I have like a defect there? No. It feels like glue on there. Yeah, we feel for Mr. Tarot, but still. I know. So, and then this morning I asked him to pull. So I've had him pull cards for me, and he pulled it, and it was She-Hulk, and She-Hulk's been following me around. And then I was just like, pull again. And he was just like, well, what if I get She-Hulk again for you? And I was just like, then I'll accept it. And then he pulled another card. And so I I got like She-Hulk and Jubilee, something like that. And then he pulled a third time, and it was She-Hulk again. And I'm just like, that's it. So Katie says, I think this card deck would be good for making a reader get back to the symbols. Though making you look more at it. It's almost like a lesson book / card set. Yes. And that's the reason why I was mentioning about the simple tarot as well, that it's more, is it more of a deck for readings, or is it more of a learning deck? We'll see. King of Swords is really nice too. The stained glass of the 5 of Pentacles, the crutch. Yeah, so it's like, it almost makes the book a refresher. Thoughts? Does it look like a refresher? Which, the book? I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if the book is actually necessary over the next month. Like, I'm obviously gonna take a peek-see and, look, but no little, correct. Yes, correct, Fran. There is no little companion book, not even a small one in the deck. It is solely the deck and a card, a title card, basically. That's it. No, no little white book. So, yeah, just wondering which is more worth the buy. Again, I won't be able to tell you until the end of the month whether or not. I think if you already, preliminary thoughts, how about that? Preliminary thoughts is if you already are a tarot reader and you already have a Rider-Waite-Smith based deck, you probably should buy the book. If you don't have a deck, you would want probably the deck and or the book. Does that make sense so far? I will tell you what's in the book, though. Now that we've explored you've seen the 22 major arcana, I'll start to shuffle shuffle both together. Yeah. Intuition, deck intuition test, book, refresher, question mark. We await the end of the month. A final review required, methinks. Yes, I think so too. But in here, so you have your introduction, right? And then you have different layouts, exercises, and spreads. Individual card page here. Blah, blah, blah. This is why that's why we pay you the big bucks. Yes, I know. It's just like you tell us. Okay. So it says here in the book, how to use this book and deck. Let's look. My primary goal in creating this deck and writing this companion guidebook was to deconstruct the traditional symbolism found in the RWS deck and strive to uncover deeper meaning within the individual symbols. Hold, please. So my thought, again, this is something that I did when I was getting my High Priestess tarot tattoo, was asking around, but also asking myself, what symbols makes the High Priestess the High Priestess? And so I would encourage you to have that conversation with yourself, because what you believe the Fool card, the symbolism of the Fool card to be, may be something different to another person. And taking that time to explore the different tarot cards, all 78 of them. What makes the Ace of Swords the Ace of Swords? What makes that's a more easy one, I think. One sword. I like but like the Three of Swords, for example, what symbols make it the Three of Swords? Is it the rain? Is it the great clouds? Is it the gray background? Is it the heart and the swords piercing, the three swords piercing the heart? Or do you need that? Do you not need that? That's the question you guys should be asking yourselves, not just, in general of tarot, but like when you're purchasing your decks. It's just like, and this is the reason why I do these unboxings and also ask you, like, do you want to see the queens? Like, which card do you want to see? It's kind of about, it's just like, oh, that Queen of Pentacles to me isn't the Queen of Pentacles. Like, that's going to make a difference when you're giving readings with those decks. If the High Priestess to you isn't the High Priestess to you, it doesn't feel High Priestessy enough for you, you're probably not going to really feel the way you should feel when you're giving a reading and the High Priestess comes up. Just as a for example. Oh, throws money at Hilary. Feels guilty. I need to throw more money at Hilary. Tattoo symbols all over herself in the meantime. Shakes head, mumbling, no, no, no. Well, I mean, like, that's part of the reason why I was so, I guess, anal retentive about the question of the High Priestess, because it's just like, but this is permanent, and yes, I know There's laser removal for tattoos, but I'm probably never going to do that. Like, that's just me. My tattoos are my tattoos. Even the ones that I don't like that much anymore, they're still my tattoos. I'm probably not going to end up removing them. Like, my very first tattoo, it probably needs some cleaning up. This one back here. It's a fairy, like I was very into fairies. And it's not that I'm not into fairies anymore, but it's just like each successive tarot tattoo that I've gotten has more meaning, and I put more thought into them because they are permanent. So, but these are kind of conversations you need to have with yourself when you're looking at tarot cards. It's just like, what is it about these symbols that make this card to me? I mean, like, what? I'm sure there are many people out there that are just like, yeah, I can just pick out like there's nothing wrong with this. It's just not for me. Like the flash art in a book. Like I don't need a little heart on my ankle that is probably the same as another person. Like I don't want my tattoo to be exactly the same as somebody else in the world. Like I want my tattoo to be personal to me. So if anyone ever wonders if I'm ever going to get matching tattoos with someone, like I did actually, but that's with the card slingers, and they're not exactly the same, and they're not placed the same. So it's just like, who are the other two people in the world that has the same tattoo as me? Jamie and Melissa, and they're not exactly the same either. But like that was the most. I didn't put a lot of thought into it, but it's still, there was some thought put into it. So anyway, that was a weird aside, but tried to uncover deeper meaning within the individual symbols. I've tried to do a deep dive into some of the connotations, but symbols are like onions. There are layers and layers to be uncovered in each one. This book presents the most commonly known associations with each symbol, as well as my own ideas and correspondences, some of which may not be immediately obvious, but I feel provide additional layers of meaning. To a large degree, there are no right or wrong answers in tarot, but I invite you to enjoy going down the rabbit hole with me. If this book draws out one single, ooh, how interesting from you, then I've accomplished my mission. You'll find my writing style to be at times direct and to the point, at other times whimsical and playful, and at other still times downright irreverent. Take it all with a grain of salt, but most importantly, enjoy the journey. So there are individual card pages, section dedicated to each of the 78 cards in this deck. For each card, I have provided the following: keywords. Both keywords are neutral. They embody both the upright and reversed energy of the card. In the reversed entries, I extrapolate on a keyword's potential shadow quality or flipped meaning, if applicable, astrological associations, planetary associations, and elemental associations. Some cards do not have both, and some have multiple. I've made notations when this is the case. Also, most of the cards in the deck have a single corresponding element based on their suit, except for the court cards, which embody both the element of their suit as well as the element specific to them. So this is, I feel like this is part of what people call elemental dignitaries, by which many people use pages as earth, knights as fire, queens as water, and kings as air. And then, so too, you can then combine, like page of cups would be earth and water. Knight of wands would be fire and fire. Queen of swords would be water and air. Okay? Individual symbols. And I have constructed each card into its individual symbols, then provide analysis of the meaning of the symbols. In some cases, I include keywords only for the symbol, and in other cases, I go on for several paragraphs. While I was writing this book, the symbols really took on a life of their own. Some had a big story to tell, while others were quieter and simpler. Please note that you might find some symbols not addressed at all on a particular card. The Death card, 13, is one such example. You'll notice that I have chosen to include imagery of the tower on the card, but provide no analysis of the symbol in the discussion of the card. But wait, soon you'll come to the Tower card, 17, and you'll have an aha moment as you discover one type of transformation leading to another. This is what I'm referring to when I speak of symbols being like onions. Tarot especially needs to be explored layer by layer, discovering meanings upon meanings. When you find a symbol that you're particularly struck by, please refer to the index of symbols at the back of this book to see where else it occurs. And then finally, quick takes. Each card section ends with an entry of quick takes. Written in fragmented form, this entry is intended to give possible scenarios, actions, and situations that the card might imply in reading. This can be useful if you are new to tarot or in a rush and don't have time to delve into the depth of the individual symbols. Final thoughts. Whether you're just starting your tarot adventure or an avid tarot connoisseur, thank you for making Tarot Disassembled part of your journey. If I've learned anything about tarot, it's that you could devote all of your years on this earth to the study of tarot and still only scratch the surface. I highly recommend you seek out as many avenues of learning on the subject as possible. You'll find an abundance of resources available. I hope we will find this deck and tarot in general to be an amazing tool of your spiritual growth. So you've got exercises in here, a couple of spreads, symbol synchronicities, and then right into all of the symbols of the 78 cards of the tarot. And then you have at the very, very end an index of symbols. So literally alphabetized, indexed symbols. So like, where do I find a pillow? Where do I find the inverted pentagram, icy mountain, moon, dog, twin pillars, veiled object, Venus symbol, stained glass window, and it'll show you the page numbers, which then you can then point. So, whoo, okay. That's a lot, guys. I can't decide. I feel it would be all or none. Currently none, because even the one I want is the UV chemical one, and that's supposedly cancerous. Darn. Tarot is layered, so true. Oh, the UV chemical one is in the UV light, where it's invisible unless you shine a UV, like a black light on it. I think my friend has one. I don't know. I'll have to ask her about it. But yeah, I think people are not recommending you do those anymore. So yeah, I can't tell you guys right now. I know I will check back. I will check back in. And I know I keep on saying that about our unboxing videos too. It's just like, I will check you back in at the end of it, and then I don't. So it's almost like the unboxing suffices as like the first impressions, and then the rest of the month, the card of the day polls is dedicated to like the review of it, basically. Yeah, the UV light one. Yeah, I got you. So yeah, I'm excited, guys. I'm very excited. And symbology, it's like so personal to each person, like a dragon or a snake or the moon. Like it's so personal. Like each of us have a different connotation associated with those symbols. Yes, exactly. Well, I think of two. Stained glass window. I immediately think of the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so stained glass window is in the Five of Pentacles, but it's also in the Four of Swords. Aha! Ha 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 ha. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right. I want to see. There should be only two page references because I can't think of where else the stained glass window would appear. Let's look. Come on. Page 239 and 196. What do I win? So 239 Yeah. So the stained glass window is in the Five of Pentacles. Yes. Let's go. And 196. And the Four of Swords. Oh. Yep, this sounds like it will be an interesting month of readings. I think so too. So, do we want to do the mid-episode reading, even though it's the entirety? We did the episode. We did it. Yes. Oh wow, I did not notice it in the Four of Swords. Yep. Top left corner. Like I said, it's burned in my brain. Maybe memorization does work, guys. All right, let's see. Oh, I don't want to do the branding. We've got the snake. We've got the lottery jar. We've got the countdown. And we have the keywords. So, mid-episode reading. To be considered for a live reading, comment tarot in the chat. TAROT in the chats. And we will put 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. If there's no takers, we will just move right into the weekend forecast. So, and I'm going to shuffle up. Now, we have come to kind of a tradition in these unboxing videos, which is to use the deck in question that we just unboxed as the deck for the mid-episode reading. So we can do that. Katie says, am I the only people here? It was you, and it was Dina in here before? Dina and Fran. So I don't know. People, it got real quiet in here. So, but then again, I was running my mouth for quite a while. So, all right. So Katie is in. You can almost guess what I'm going to ask if I win, but I know that I was a recent reading, so maybe I shouldn't be the person. No, it's okay. Go for it. I know you guys are so good about, sharing and sharing alike when it comes to the mid-episode reading. So you're fine. You're good. Fran says she was here for a minute. Well, I mean, I'm just happy you guys show up even for a second. It's appreciated. Otherwise it's just me screaming into the ether and talking to myself. So. So, Heavenly, nice name. Are you doing free readings? So we're doing the mid-episode reading right now. So if you want to comment the word tarot, TAROT, you would be in the running for a free 3-card reading with me live on the broadcast. But that is the only way to get one. Or you can always book a reading with me, tarotbyhilary.com. Always ask an expert. Oh, we're not there yet. Hold on. All right. Cool. All right. So 50-50 shot, guys. But welcome to the broadcast. I do these live streams every week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on different metaphysical subjects. Tonight, we just so happen to be unboxing the Tarot Disassembled. All right, it is time. It is time to pick a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We have Katie. Katie, you are the winner. Go ahead and put your question into the chat, and I will pull 3 cards from the Tarot Disassembled, which was the deck that we were unboxing tonight, on your question. Please and thank you. And Heaven, thank you for participating and welcome to the broadcast. If you're liking what you're hearing, you can always try and participate again next time on Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do them every week. So, or you can always book a reading with me, tarotbyhilary.com. But Katie, even though I can predict what you're going to ask, go ahead and ask it in the chat, and I'll display it as I'm pulling the cards for you. All right, I've been shuffling these for a while now, and now what I'm going to do is put reversals into it by taking it, flipping, and shuffling in. By the way, someone was asking me on Threads, what do you do if you have small hands? How do you shuffle if you have small hands? And what do you do if you have flyer cards? Or is it just a matter of like, I'm a terrible shuffler, or is it a sign? The answer to the first question I gave was, I shuffle overhand because I have very small hands. So you just take these and you catch. You shuffle with one hand and you catch with the other hand. So I kind of like shape my hand like this. So that's how I shuffle, because small hands. So that was the answer to question number 1. Number 2, about flyer cards, basically, is both. You know, is it a matter of being a bad shuffler? Maybe. Or do you take it as a sign of, you know, that card should be read? And it's just like, I think you make meaning where you want to. If you think it was a significant card, then read it as such. So I'm always here for general questions too. Oh, this new card smell. Oh, let me take this down. All right, so the question is in. Just trying to get a feel for the result with the neighbor's fence. They want their established plants on the boundary, and I want my brick archway that my parents built not to damage because the old fence was previously in the wrong place and had broken it. The push and the pull. I am hoping on good results, but what do the cards tell me? All right. Initially, I'm getting the phrase, even before the cards come out, I'm getting the phrase, good fences make good neighbors. So, you know, the boundary, you know, establishing the boundaries, not just verbally, but also legally, but also physically. It's like, it is very important. I don't know, you know, I think good fences make good neighbors is kind of that push and pull, like absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know, it's just like, you do have to have the boundaries. Otherwise it's like too much too much togetherness, too much being on top of each other, whether right or wrong, whether it was established correctly to begin with. It's just like, it's hard to kind of like rein it in when it's already gone off the rails. And I know you're trying to, but let's see. Yeah, absolutely so important for the future relationship. All right, 3 cards. All right, we've got the Page of Cups. We've got the 10 of Cups. And we have the 9 of Cups. So I think I need to shuffle a little bit more because they are sticking together a bit. So, I mean, I'm going to take that as a good sign, though. Could have been the Tower. So we've got little gluts of stuck togetherness. So this one. Oh, Page of Swords, though. Okay, cool. Interesting. I'm still going to say that the Page of Cups and the 10 of Cups is correct for the situation, especially with like the symbols that are coming up with this. And by the way, they're all upright as well. No tower. No, there's no tower. There's no tower. I'm just continuing to shuffle up to get them mixed in a little bit better. But I do think the Page of Cups, the 10 of Cups, and the Page of Swords are your cards for this reading. So I'm going to hold them up. Page of Cups. 10 of Cups. And the Page of Swords. So to me, having the 10 of Cups being like the best outcome, I think, possible, 10 of Cups, especially with the home being represented as one of the main symbols, is, like, I think that's like the sign of the good outcome, but also having it be framed by the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords, definitely about boundaries. Like I was saying before, boundary bitch, like you've got to be able to create that barrier, right? And I'm seeing the sword more as a barrier than anything that you necessarily need to do or say at this point. Like it's almost like you've already said and done everything that you need to say or do. But again, we have had on the live stream a couple of workshops about boundaries. Sometimes it's about saying the boundary and then enforcing it and then enforcing it again. Because sometimes it's not about expressing the boundary, it's about enforcing it. So yeah. the one time I don't want a tower. How different from my usual love of the tower. So yeah, so Page of Cups to me is like using your intuition as well, even if it doesn't make sense at the time, especially when it doesn't make sense. You got the talking fish in the cup still. It looks like there's a scarf there. Their window there. It looks like there's lotuses as well. Feather, fishes, waves. It's like very much the Page of Cups is about using your intuition, especially when it doesn't make sense on the surface. And then the 10 of Cups is like that outcome. And then the Page of Swords is just enforcing, right? I do think it will have a good result because that 10 of Cups is coming up, but it's just like continuing to enforce and not necessarily, it's not like, this is my own interpretation of the cards. And of course we are going to go to the guidebook as I'm dropping things left and right. We are going to go to the guidebook for this, for the analysis of the symbols. But to me, the Page of Swords is about just continuing to embody the and enforce. Like you've done it's almost like you've done all of the work up front, and now you're just continuing to enforce. Oh, exactly. why I did your tapping on intuition, recommending Hilary's tapping. Do it. Oh, it's so sweet. Thank you. So yeah, yeah. Just continuing to do that. And also whatever instincts that you got or whatever downloads you got, like after doing that tapping on intuition, is what you need to continue to do. And if the advice was to do nothing, it's just like it's because you've done all of the work up front, and now it's just like maintain, maintain, maintain. So all right, Page of Cups, because I'm interested in seeing what the take is on these different symbols. So, Page of Cups is creativity, idealism, innocence, curiosity, intuition, sensitivity, surprising insights, good news, so, repression, lack of confidence, immaturity, and bad news. So, it's like good news and bad news. Like the good news is this, the bad news is this. No astrological or planetary associations, and the element is water and earth. Like I was saying before, since it's the page, um, it's the earth elements and then water from the cups. So the symbols, the main symbol of this is element of cup is element of water, emotions, intuition, receptivity, and feminine principle. The feather, freedom, hope, travel, thought, lightheartedness, spiritual evolution, and truth. Fans of the 1994 movie Forrest Gump will remember the lovely way a drifting feather opens and closes the movie. The Page of Cups embodies the same sense of innocence and idealism that Forrest has. Above all, Forrest is a character who strives to be kind and good in even the most painful of situations. Similarly, this page's feather reminds us to be our best self no matter where the wind blows us. All right, guys, I think you need the guidebook. I don't think I would have gotten there. I don't think I would have gotten that out of the feather. Like that idealism. It's just like sometimes it's naivete, but also it's just like no matter what anybody else is doing, still be your best self. Wow. Fish, element of water, emotions, feelings of fertility, abundance, and state of flow. Fish popping out of the cup represents the surprising insights that sometimes comes with this page. It can also represent a creative idea popping into your mind, seemingly from out of nowhere, a bit of divine inspiration. Yeah, Katie says, I did stuff and last minute consulted a friend to word things in communication correctly. Oh, pooey. Hopefully, bad news isn't too drastic. No, I don't think so. Doing my best self, or being my best self, trying so hard to. I get it. It's frustrating. Lotus, spiritual awakening, sacredness, purity, resilience, and beauty. The lotus grows in swampy conditions, often emerging from the murkiest waters. The idealistic and creative page has the ability to blossom and create beauty even out of a bad situation. The white color of the lotus also symbolizes the pure heart of the Page of Cups. The scarf, expression, adornment, flow, comfort, and warmth. The blue flowing scarf of the page signifies your emotions and intuition are flowing freely and easily. Scarves are comforting and warming. I didn't even notice he wore a scarf in the Rider-Waite-Smith version. The stage. Oh, I thought it was just... You don't want to know what I thought, guys. I thought this was like a window. I'm just like a window and curtains, but I didn't realize that was representative of a stage. So it's a stage card, right? We did a workshop on stage cards, so 13 stage cards. In the case of the Page of Cups, the stage card, fantasy and story. In the case of the Page of Cups, I believe the curtain stage represents the page's creative brainstorming process, envisioning different scenarios and putting on mini plays in their mind's eye. This page clearly enjoys the touch of the fantastical. Creative ideas are well and good, but without action in the mix, they will only ever live in the realm of fantasy. And then water. Addition to all of the regular water symbolism, I believe another layer of meaning can be attributed here. All the pages of the tarot are considered to be messengers. the powerful waves of the ocean carrying a message in a bottle to a far-off recipient. The practice of sending bottled messages is alleged to have been started by Aristotle's protege, Theophrastus, sometime around 310 BCE, when he used bottled messages to study ocean currents. They have also been poetically romanticized by the likes of writers such as Edgar Allan Poe and Nicholas Sparks, linking them to the artsy creativity inherent in the Page of Cups. That's a lot of symbolism. So let's get back. Quick takes. New creative ideas. Believe that anything is possible. Be open to new opportunities. Explore your creative side and study your emotions. It's okay to be sensitive. Approach things with a sense of curiosity. Trust your intuition. Revamp your personal style, and good news is coming your way. But does stage also mean overthinking? My brain hurts from overthinking the situation. Yes, it can definitely do that. There's a lot of different options here. And it feels like you've almost like exhausted it's almost like you've exhausted your imagination. There's so many different ways that the situation can go that you're kind of like just overstimulated, overthinking and overstimulated as well. So it's just like, just trust that you've done everything that you can do and just keep reinforcing the boundary. Now, 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups, we have love, bliss, harmony, family, homecoming, stability, disharmony, and dysfunction. So remember those keywords, like we were saying, like the book was saying before. It's just like all the keywords are going to be listed, including the reversals. So all aspects are there. So astrologically associated with Pisces, planetary association is Mars, and element of water. I am not going to go into depth with all of the symbols that are on here. There are also, this is also a stage card. So you've got 2 out of the 3 are stage cards. I am going to go with the quick interpretation here, but like rainbow, joy, hope, bridge, communication, peace, luck. Rainbow appears after a storm. It also indicates that even though you may have gone through tough times recently, you are now entering a happier, more peaceful phase. Okay. So quick takes: happily ever after, your cup runneth over, domestic bliss, happy family, divine blessings, marriage on the horizon, finding your dream home, moving to the country, ancestral connections, feeling at peace with your life, finding happiness in the little things, and generational prosperity. Also, with the 10 of Cups being a stage card, it does have a little bit of a connotation, not so much for you, but I feel like it's almost like a keeping up with the Joneses situation with your neighbors, where it's like not everything is as it seems. The 10 of Cups is such an overwhelmingly positive card that the stage likely only hints at a small hiccup in the situation rather than anything too heavy. It may affirm that someone is trying too hard to keep up appearances. That's understandable since social media bombards us with perfect looking curated moments that can make us feel like everyone but us has the ideal life. So letting go of the need to put on an act to impress. I don't think this is you. I feel like it's more of a keeping up appearances, keeping up with the Joneses energy coming from your neighbors. Yes, I know. And this is all you want. Your positivity gives me hope. Thank you. Just wanting a peaceful home life. I think you're getting there. It's just like, and you're doing, like, I'm telling you, you're doing everything that you possibly can do. Just hold the boundary. I think the real portion of this is the Page of Swords, which is hold the line. Page of Swords. Right. Their house is giving showpiece, but I would like a nice calm space to live. Right. And you deserve to have a nice calm space to live. All right. So Page of Swords, ideas, truth, communication, enthusiasm, curiosity, learning, good news. Again, the last keywords in it, I'm not going to say the last keywords in it because that is the reverse meaning of the card. You're not getting any reversals here. So, again, with the pages, page is earth, element for the swords is air. I see. I see what the arrows symbolize now because of the directionality of the human figures in the Rider-Waite-Smith version. In the RWS tarot, the page faces left while their body and feet face right. Looking to the left indicates looking to the past, while right is the direction of the future. The agile-brained Page of Swords simultaneously learns from the past while idealistically planning for the future. That's what the arrows mean in this. Birds. All the pages act as messengers, heralding news coming their way. The association reinforced here by the symbolic inclusion of birds, delivering messages over long distances. The boots are red. Red color of the boots symbolize the passionate spirit of the page. Red is also the color of the root chakra. The boots represent that this page may have their head in the clouds, but their feet are firmly planted on the ground. Clouds represent the quickly shifting thoughts, bounce from study to study, continuous search for knowledge. Green landscape, fertility, abundance, growth. The sword, the element of air, intellect, power, discernment, decisiveness, truth, impartiality, purification, and finality. Quick takes, new ideas and new projects, be open-minded, learn a new way of doing something, speak up for yourself or for another. You've been doing that. Indicates different learning styles, learning a new language, developing new ways of communicating. Definitely been doing that. Legal careers or law school, swearing an oath, a clever child that keeps you on your toes. Good news is coming your way. It's exhausting, but good news is coming. And also having these three cards and seeing the background color in each of them, the Page of Cups is orange and very like fiery for cups, but also I think shows with it being the first card and then the next two cards are lush green. I think it's kind of like bringing a sense of calm out of a chaotic situation. So things are looking up. Keep shining up. And keep doing the tapping too. Woo! I'm looking forward to exploring this deck. This is interesting. So, Katie, I hope this reading helps you. I know that it's a vulnerable act to be read for in a public space, and I appreciate you doing so. So doing that tapping, thank you so much. I really needed to hear that. You're very, very welcome. So just a note that only one person can win the mid-episode reading each episode. But if you did not win this time around, please tune in next time. Same bat time, same bat channel, Friday nights, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, let's see. Where is... So let us move into the weekend forecast. So like, just so you know, guys, this is the deck of the month for card of the day pulls. So we will be starting to use this come tomorrow morning. For those of you who have requested an email reading, I will work on those tomorrow. I am tuckered out tonight, so I'll be working on those tomorrow. And then I have a retail shift, so trying to knock out some of those in my spare time. And if you did not win the mid-episode reading, you can always tune in next week to try again, or you can book a reading with me, tarotbyhilary.com. That is the only way to book a reading with me. All right, let us move into the weekend forecast. Card of the Day polls, by the way, are on my social media accounts. So if you're not already following me on most social media platforms, I am at Tarot by Hilary. Hilary is with one L. So make sure you're following me so you can get your card of the day each day from the Tarot Disassembled. Looking forward to exploring this more over the next month. So, all right, let us do the weekend forecast. For those of you who are regular viewers, do we have any requests on Oracle deck? Because we will be going with an Oracle deck. I know I have the Starseed Oracle and the Work Your Light Oracle close to hand. I also have this little deceptive deck, the Roast Iconic. 30 cards for getting wrecked by the universe, which is so cute but so deadly. And then I also have the Super Attractor Affirmations. And I think I also have the Nocturna. So let me know what you guys are feeling. Oh, and if you're enjoying this live stream, you can always feel free to follow, subscribe to this channel, click the bell for notifications when new videos or lives are available. I would so appreciate it. Please and thank you. Okay. Other's choice or reader's choice. All right. I don't know if I want to get wrecked by the universe with the Roast Iconic. She cute, but she mean sometimes. Should I just drop my hand into my bag and see which one I grab? Well, that's exactly. That's Starseed. I can tell by the feel of the box. Let's do Starseed. I don't know. Katie's like, nice soft one. I don't. Is there actually an Oracle deck or a Tarot deck that's soft in my hands? I don't know about that. So here's the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell with artwork by Danielle Noel. You know it. You love it. You've gotten your ass kicked by it before. And we're just going to ask, what do we need to know for this weekend? Katie says, yay, Starseed. So you did have a preference. All right, what do we need to know for this weekend? I think it's this one. Well, hails bells. Water your garden is the message for this weekend. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. It's a beautiful card. Let's see if I can actually abide by it. I feel like we've gotten this card before. Not recently, but we have definitely gotten this card before on the broadcast. All right, so from the guidebook, Earth is a seasonal planet, and as such, you're a seasonal being, cyclic. You can't be on and in full bloom month after month, day after day after day. You're strongly being called to put on the brakes, rest, and refuel. To take a moment to restock and replenish and slow right on down. Your body is the only body you're given, and it needs to be respected as such. You're being called to take responsibility for your well-being, to put your health and body first. I know it can feel like time is running out, and as if there are urgent things that simply can't wait. However, if you keep pushing on, soon fatigue will set in. This way of living isn't sustainable. If anyone continues to race through life, eventually they will reach exhaustion and it will take longer to recover than it would have done to rest. Immune system disorders and mystery illnesses are becoming more common because we're putting too much pressure on our bodies to keep up with the instantaneous pace of modern life. How are you being called to put on the brakes, to rest, restore, and rejuvenate? When was the last time you took a holiday or had a full weekend, day, or afternoon off? Look after your precious body and mind. Give yourself enough time to recover when you find yourself running on your reserves. There is enough time. Life will bend towards you when you do. What is your body yearning for? Ouchie. You feel that sick burn? I did want one, but I wanted to leave it open to others too. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think we needed that. I think we needed that. We might not like it very much, but we needed to know that message today. So think about watering your garden this weekend, both figuratively and metaphysically. Make sure you're tending to yourself. Make sure you're giving your body what it needs, like water. Make sure drink your water. Drink your water, especially if you're doing tapping. Yeah. Time for an afternoon of rest, a nice facial mask, and curl up with a book. That sounds good to me, Katie. That sounds good. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and joining me for unboxing the Tarot Disassembled. Again, that will be our deck of the month for card of the day pulls for the month of May. Thanks so much for joining me. And we will do this again next week. Not necessarily unboxing another deck, but we will do another episode of the live stream this time next week, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Katie says, I like that card. I need rest. I'm very tired right now. Me too. Me too. Drink water. And what about champagne? And said, yeah, sure. But make sure there's, why not both? Both is good, right? Both is good. You're very, very welcome, Katie. My pleasure. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, don't argue with me. You have intuition too. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again next week, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh no, where is my... hold on one second. What is that? Show and stream. What is that? Ah, there it is. I was just like, where's my end video? Where is it? Thank you all so much for watching. Bye. I'm back again. Aw, Katie. Hillary's awesome. You're awesome too. I think I've got to take... I don't know what's going on, guys. I was trying to load something here. Hold on. All right. For some reason, my end screen decided to not work. So let me go ahead and upload that. it is. I found it, I think. Yes. Katie says, it loves you. You can't just leave us. But I'm going to, and I will. Until next week. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.